Hello everyone, it's Dom here from Esports News UK. I'm joined by a very special guest today, Mr. James Banks. How's it going, James?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Busy,
Yeah,
tired.
You're probably more busy than I am.
I don't know about that. James, we were saying before I hit record, this is your first ever UK esports event you're working at as a host. I can't believe that. That's mind-blowing to me.
It's kind of strange, right? So I've done like the Copper Box Arena, but it was when it was shared with multiple different games. So I don't classify that a proper arena for just our game and just how it was done. And then when Face It was coming up, they had Freya, we worked full time for them. When ESL ever came anywhere near it, it was like another event. So this is my first ever one. This is the first special big one. So it's nice. It's a home crowd finally, and I get to do it probably when I'm at maybe my best or at the top of my game of what I'm doing, and so it's a really nice feeling.
Yeah. Do you feel that you're at your peak at the moment? I feel like your career has gone up. I do feel you're hitting that sort of peak at the moment.
I wouldn't say peak because there's still so much more I want to do, and I'm still loving what I do. Peak would mean, right, that I won't get any higher, so let's not say that just yet.
I would scrap that.
I would say I am on my way to where I want to be. But until I'm considered the best stage host and the best interviewer, I'm not interested in slowing down. There's still a lot more.
So that's where you want to be.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
talking.
I've made that very clear for a long time that I want to be the very best interviewer in the game, and I want the fans to enjoy everything I do. And I will stop doing this job when I stop enjoying it. But right now, when I see players or I talk to players, I still have good friendship with them. I still enjoy what I'm doing. I still have fun when I go on stage. I still give my all when I blast everything out. And if I woke up and I was like, oh, I don't want to go here, or I don't want to do that, or I don't want to have these sleepless nights or whatever, then maybe I'll think about stopping. But right now, I've done it from when we had no money, we won't be able to get anything, and it was all very low to where we are now, and I'm so happy with the journey. I still love every moment of it, so keep going.
When you say you want to be the best interviewer, do you mean in the whole of esports? Or just in Counter-Strike? Because I'd say you're up there already in Counter-Strike,
I think I want to be seen as the very best in my field. So like I've done some Dota stuff, right? And that's really hard. I'm no Dota expert. I have a lot of good friends with the analysts and stuff who help me a long way with it. But like I want to be able to, when I do a game, first of all, I never say yes to a game I don't like. Like I've been offered games before in FIFA and other mobile games, for example, and I've not said yes, but I do games I like. So when PJ asked me to do Dota, I was like, hell yeah, because I like the game. I may be absolutely terrible at it and I may have a lot to learn, but I have a passion for it, so I'm going to try. And I try and bring a bit more personality, a bit more fun to when I was doing all the Dota stuff. Now, it's quite funny because I go to these arenas in Dota. We did the Arlington Major, and there people are like, I watch Counter-Strike, I know you from that. And there's it's interesting because you go there, and some of them, they don't have that same enjoyment of when I do the same stage stuff, because in Counter-Strike we have this, I guess, certain type of people or certain type of audience, and they are a bit more, in Dota I would say, reserved. So when I went on there and I was very loud and going crazy, at first people were like, what the hell? But I am me, and the reason I was hired to do that job was to do that. So they didn't hire me to be like everyone else was doing it, right? And when I made the content, I was doing some wild, fun content. I had some of the players say to me, they're like, actually, we enjoyed doing this content, because they haven't done something like that before. So it was nice and refreshing, but I'm no way am I a pro at doing the Dota stuff. Like when I was doing the player interviews, bloody hell, I had Spirit win both events I did. And I'll be honest, I love some of these players, but that is hard work. It is not easy. So it's like, that's something for me to learn from. And until I've got to the point where I can confidently walk on and do that like I do Counter-Strike, then like, I'm not satisfied.
I think that's a good thing to have. You're aiming high, So you're saying you like Dota then?
Yep.
So you're not a League guy?
Yeah, I'll be honest. League's not for me. It's I've watched it. I went to that one they had in London that time many years ago. Maybe. Yeah, when it was in.
It was here. Yeah,
but was it this one?
I believe it was. Yeah, Wembley Arena. Yeah.
I remember when I was talking to some of the talent and stuff. I know we were in the same hotel, and so yeah, I did that. And like, it was great to watch. But I'm just telling you now, I didn't enjoy it. It was cool to hang out with people, and that was about it. But it's not really my game. Dota is a bit more like dark and it's, I don't know, it's just more me.
You're a GG Bet ambassador.
Yes.
GG Bet are powering our content here today. What's it like juggling all these things?
I think the GG bet thing's really, it came natural. I know some people, they've got mixed feelings on betting, but in Counter-Strike, betting's very prevalent. I don't bet on esports stuff, but I bet a lot on boxing. So I come from doing like kickboxing and stuff, but I like my boxing, so that's where I'll throw my money around. I think in the UK culture, betting is quite prevalent. My parents used to do horse race betting, and stuff like that, so it's always been around us. And I think GGBet's one of the few companies who are very above board. And people go, oh yeah, it's just because he's an ambassador. Just go do your research, right? I can't do anything without the 21 plus and making sure it's responsible. I even tell people when I'm giving my predictions, if you can't afford to do that, don't bloody bet it down. Like, don't waste your money. It's not something to get yourself all twisted up in and end up badly. But the GGBet thing came because they obviously sponsor Na'Vi. I am very close with the Na'Vi players. It's my team I support a lot in there. I've been a fan of them since 2011, so I very much love the Na'Vi brand. And they just had a connection there. So when GGBet came to me and said, could you do it? I was like, hell yeah. So we agreed. It's been working. Maybe it's nearly 2 years now. It's been a long time. And they're great to work with. And the crazy good thing about GGBet is most of my work isn't actually pushing the betting stuff. I make some predictions. I promote the website and stuff like that. But they took me to Rio early before one event, and we did a massive fan meeting. And I'm sat there signing autographs, taking photos of fans. We're running around making content. We were there with the Na'Vi guys. Then we come here, we do the stuff with the Vitality guys. It's like, one time I was on a boat. I was on the Vitality boat doing some stuff. It's pretty wild. They're pretty out there with the crazy extra stuff they do. So it's been enjoyable. And it's not the normal stuff. So it's like a bit out of my comfort zone, a bit of content stuff. I really enjoy it.
And talking of signing sessions, they had a GG booth here as well. I spoke to Mezzi. Some fan came up with a pot noodle that he signed.
Yeah, there was a guy there who maybe signed a pair of socks. Yeah, that was
what, you signed a pair of socks?
Yeah, I signed a pair of socks. Yeah, I got a picture of it. It's mental.
What were the socks?
They're these Vitality GG Bet socks. Right. So they come there, right? And basically I went there with my son so he can meet the Vitality guys. And obviously, luckily for me, I can just walk around the back and we just see everyone. Everyone's very, very nice to him. And obviously he's around here as well. But I did that, and I then did my own signing session. I was there for about an hour and a half today. I missed most of the first map of this Na'Vi game, and that went very quickly though. But it's a lot of fun because it gives me somewhere I can go. Honestly, for talent, we've done a few, but there's not really, because our schedule's so busy, there's not many places we get to do this. So with GGBet, I get an extra way to do it with all the fans, and it's a nice extra because people obviously. I know it's still weird to me. I still see myself just like a normal fan of the game because I still am a fan of the game. Even when if I'm not hired for an event, I still watch the event. I still want to see what's going on. I still cheer. I'm not going to lie and tell you I watch every single game, but if it's like Na'Vi playing, I'm never going to miss the game. I'm always going to see that. I'm always following what's happening. So I think because I'm still a fan of the game, it still kind of freaks me out and weirds me out when people want photos and want autographs.
You're a star.
Like no, but you don't feel like it because when I think of stars, when I used to go watch football or something, they're in big arenas, but you can't get close to them. You're not seeing them or anything. Where here, look at this. I walk around. You go on stages. It's so much more interactive with your fans. They'll wait outside here. There's never any problems. It's always nice. When I was in China, bro, we hadn't been back to China since before COVID, right? I think 2019. I was the only talent that went because they just needed a stage host. The rest were online broadcasts. Went back for CAC in Shanghai. I had a fan meeting that got closed by the police. I can show you the pictures. No lie, this is mental because we agreed to do it at the end. Everyone came, and then in China, there's laws, right, about you can't have too many people in public place in one place, in case of trampling and stuff. So I took one picture. It was amazing. And I started doing the stuff, and the security guys were like, no, and then the real police are there, and I was like, what the hell? But I didn't realize how crazy the fandom is because I didn't have this problem. But FaZe, for example, were in the gym, and fans were then. They were staying at the hotel, but they were in the hotel, bothering them in the gym. It's a very different level of fandom out there, but it's crazy to think that we've even got there. And I've seen it before, the videos of, was it Faker from League, right? You've seen these videos, you've seen these things, the way that the esports growth right now is insane. But it's cool.
He's had some issues with fans and things. I think sending him all kinds of stuff.
I've only seen some of the nice ones. I didn't see any of the bad things.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you get ups and downs, don't you?
Yeah.
James, I want to say something here. So, in London, going back to almost 9 years ago now, we were at an event, but we were in a press room. Can you remember what it was?
Oh my God, 9 years ago.
End of this year. So it was the event took place December 2015.
2015. Would it have been in Gfinity?
No. But it was in London.
Was it a Counter-Strike event?
It had a Counter-Strike event at it.
What was it?
I remember talking to you in the press room. Yes.
DreamHack.
We've had one DreamHack in the UK, DreamHack London.
Yeah, I didn't get hired to that, so I went as press. Yeah.
When I went to the press room, you were that point you were the only one in there, and I was chatting with you. And then I think back then you were doing various work. Were you doing agency things? And now look at you.
So like back then, I think Foreign put it quite nicely. Like I was like a fan interviewer because I was a fan of the game. But like I knew a lot of the players because I was always around. But I used to rock up with just my laptop, just the camera. At the beginning, I used to hide behind the camera. I didn't want to put myself on camera.
I was like that.
Yeah, and then eventually I did what you're doing. But we didn't have mobile phones to do it, right? We were using like these. They're not like like our dads would have like them kind of the hand cams.
Oh, I'm so old. My dad's so old. He used to have a big camera thing.
Okay, my dad would have had, but like the handy cam and then like a microphone just about jacked into it in some way and an extender. And I edited all the videos myself. I had a couple of sponsors and things, but like it wasn't paying the bills. It wasn't what I did full time, but I still wanted to go and do it to show myself as an interviewer. So yeah, they were good times, man. Jesus Christ, DreamHack. Yeah.
Why did they not come back?
I guess I think another thing when people say about why we don't have many events in the UK, our country is really expensive. There's a reason I don't live here. Like it's not ideal.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, it's like. There's so many things I love about being here, but it's like I'd rather just holiday here. And even then it's bloody expensive. Like being here, we were just ordering food the other day. And I was like, how do I spend £80 on food for 3 people? And I mean, we weren't ordering big. And this is just in a Nando's. Like, huh? It's. And then I even say this for the fans now, right? If I think of the average age I'm seeing here, if they're students or like they're in that age group, the ticket prices, and it's not anyone's fault, but the ticket prices plus the hotel plus the train travel.
Train.
Mate, I went on the train to go see my mum from here, and so me and my fiance went, and it was cheaper for us to take an Uber from London for 60 quid than take the train. How does that make sense?
In some places it's cheaper to get a flight to Europe than it is, getting a train to Scotland or something, or a train to Manchester, I don't know.
It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
You mentioned the home crowd earlier, James, and I forgot to ask about that. What was it like stepping out to Wembley? Mezzi said he loved the setup. I mean, I feel like I've heard we're going to have some more fans obviously here tomorrow for the grand final, but it seems to be more contained. I was at ESL 1 Birmingham the other week. I think that may have had like double the amount of people, but it's intimate as well here, isn't it?
It's very intimate and it's an amazing crowd, and it's nothing. I don't think it's any fault of what like Blast does or how it's been, but I feel like UK has a huge amount of CS interest, but maybe not the people that are going to watch it directly in the venues. Because I was trying to explain, when I got here, I expected even Friday to be full, and I definitely expected Saturday to be sold out. Now this was much better. I even said to them when I got on stage today, I said like, London, this is more like it, right? This is better. But I'm hoping tomorrow everyone comes in full force. And I know there's reasons like we said about the costs and all these extra things you can add to it. It's not cheap, it's not easy, but I will say, like, if you are a fan, try and make the effort, because I meet fans all the time from the UK who have travelled to Europe, and I'm probably, sadly, it's more cheap for them to do it. And I'm not trying to make excuses for why our crowd is not what it was expected to be, but today felt really good, and I am very happy with it. But it's like, I would have loved to the UK to really show up, especially if we can get more, like we saw in the announcement, right? Blast will do more events in London, because we won next year guaranteed.
Yeah, it's coming back here, isn't it, for the Open in August, September.
So it's like, I want them to see the value in it, but also I can understand it if you're not coming. And I'd love if people just gave me some feedback on like why you didn't attend, or what was your reasons for not doing it? Was it a time of year? What was going on? Because I'm not going to say I'm disappointed. It's still so fun when you step out there and the crowd is giving me a lot of energy. But it's like, I hope tomorrow when I step on there, it's going to be absolutely electric and it's going to be really packed out. But I don't blame you if you can't. I'm interested to see what the reason is, because I feel like we do have a community. You mentioned it, right? At Birmingham, there's a lot of people there, but I don't know, Birmingham probably a lot cheaper than London, realistically, right? It's all these factors I maybe don't fully understand anymore because I'm not living here, but I am seeing it of why it is a bit tougher. So it swings and roundabouts. And I saw even, what was it, they did was the Rainbow Six event? That was sold out, right?
Chester, yeah, I couldn't go to that one in person.
But that was sold out, right?
I'm not sure, you know. It's funny because when they say sold out, They never really sell every seat, do they?
Sold out what they've opened up. I think that's the key word, right? They even sometimes open or close things, and that's a different way of doing it, right? Sold out is the seats they're doing it, but they could open the rafters or something like that and let more people in. But I think I remember the Rainbow Six looking really good, and I thought, okay, that's awesome. But I don't know, man. It's just we have to wait and see. I guess Epic Land's the only thing we got now. iSeries isn't really there. Things have gone very different in UKCS. And I'm seeing a lot of faces I haven't seen for years, though. That's pretty cool. There's a positive.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to seem too negative on all of it.
No, you're good. You're good. Last couple of things. Now, you've given me, you've been involved in so many interesting things. I've written news stories about the football team. You sponsored
I still sponsor them.
the Eagles stuff. Have you got any other hot gossip for me? Banks, what's going on in the what news stories do we have?
I've got something that'll probably drop this year, or at the latest early next year, which I don't think any other talent has ever done. And I mean, it's like something, nothing revolutionary, nothing crazy, but it's definitely using my connection with players to put something out there that is available, but this will be a different level and a different quality. And I've been working on it for a little bit of time, and it's going to come as like a Banks collection, but it's not clothing. That's an easy one to do. So that's all I can say for now.
Oh, that's interesting.
But it is something that we've been working.
Power banks business you're going into.
Mate, that would be fucking awesome though, wouldn't it? Imagine if I had Banks power banks and just my face on it, my ugly mug sat on the front of it in different suits, depending on how powerful it is. Or you can make it like see-through, and as it's powered up, right, it's more bright, and then it's dolling down, it goes to like a normal suit.
Business ideas, I love it. And lastly, your thoughts on UKCS, because Mezzi said to me earlier, hopefully, I said, talking about him being the only UK player here, he said hopefully it can inspire people, motivate them, get going on the grind, get more UK players. What I like about Mezzi is he's grounded, he comes across very professional. He doesn't come across emotional. No. That can be, you can look at that in a good or bad way. Yeah. But I do feel like we have a few loose cannons in UKCS. What are your thoughts in general on that, Banks?
I am sad to see UKCS where it is. I don't know enough anymore about the grassroots to see it. I've got friends of mine, there's a guy called Zach, there's a guy called Eden, they're very much active and playing it, they're involved in it. But if I look at like even Face It for the UK, it's good, it's very positive. I'm saying there's a lot of players there, but it's, even when you've got an Endpoint or you've got other organisations who are trying to support it, I think the biggest problem we've always had is if you compare, you go to university, you can get a job, it's going to pay a lot more than what an aspiring UK pro is going to be. And I don't want to use this as an excuse, but if you're someone who's really trying, and you go, actually, I could probably go to Waitrose and study and I'll make more money than a pro player. Maybe you don't want it bad enough, yeah? Maybe you don't feel the need to push as hard enough, and that's the reason. But like for me, I didn't have many other options. I didn't have education, I didn't have university. So like I stuck with it even when the money was bad and just rolled up with it. You can't expect everyone to do that, but I feel like that might be a part of the reason why some UK players don't go as far as they could or don't push as far as they could, Because if you compare it to like Eastern European players or people from other parts of the world, and this money could be life-changing for them. One tournament win could buy the house, buy a family a house, sort out all the debt and the problems. That's not happening really with us when it comes to this. And admittedly, Mez is probably the first that's had a chance of reaching that far and doing anything like that. Smoothie obviously before him as well. Some are like Thomas when he was going through the major at the same time. But it's like, we see so far and few, and it's sad that most UK players think they have to move away from a full UK team to even have it. We need a grassroots team that can continue to play, cycle through players, and maybe grow players even more than what Endpoint tried to do. And Endpoint was the best option we had, and even they could only do so much, right? It's tough. It's like, we definitely have skilled players, but we also have some bad attitude as well. I'm happy to admit that I was an arsehole player when I was around. Like, there are players with bad attitudes or bad mentality on it, the extra cockiness or maybe not being so friendly and things like that, that can hinder you. You can't get that any reason, but I feel like we have a little bit more, at times, toxicity than some, and it can get that way. And it's part of our culture being a bit banterish and stuff, but it's like, if we could just get 5 players who are willing to sacrifice, push really hard, and it's like the actual dream and goal, and that wasn't going to be taken away or spiraled off in some direction, then maybe we could do something, but it's like, just waiting at the moment, sadly. We've got a lot of successful players. Like if I look at fighting games, we're some of the very best in the world. Some of my friends who play fighting games are absolutely nuts. They're achieving so much now, getting signed to big teams. So it's not like it's just UK Esports is in a bad spot. Obviously, you cover all of UK Esports, right? But like when I'm just looking specifically at CS, I want to see just a little bit more, a little bit further.
So it's console games again, isn't it? Yeah. Fighting games, FIFA or FC now, you know, COD, games like that we're good in, or have been.
I think part of that comes from the fact that like our school system, our government system is so whack. Like they don't have any interest in looking at this, right? Yeah, we have some universities that cover esports. I'll be honest, no one's ever, considering what we do, no one's ever asked me like, do you want to come speak or do something like that? I think I may have had one email or something like that over the whole time, but I'm meeting some of these people here who they've gone to university and they've then asked me for advice. I met one guy actually here, and maybe he'll comment on this video when he sees it. He came to me and he said, oh, thank you for the advice you gave me. It was like last year at an event. He actually got accepted for his uni course, and that's what he wants to go do. That's positive, but why can't we have a system where like we're talking more about the positives of it? Because a lot of people have a console anyway, and they'll learn that they're good. But not everyone has a PC that's capable of playing. Maybe they're not so interested in it. But I think when you have dads like me and you, then, like, for example, my son already has a gaming laptop. It's naturally in his hands, that's the way it's going to go. It's just maybe a bit more time needed, where, like, consoles are just readily available for all of them.
Yeah. I know you've given me a lot of great info, James, and I appreciate it. I just want to say to end, talking about the government, and they've had a bit of lack of interest, obviously, or in esports. I think you'd be someone who's good talking to MPs, talking to the government.
I might talk too straight for them, though. They won't like me.
They'd appreciate it. They need straight talking.
Maybe. It's just, I think I've always seen, I guess, government and a bit of that too posh side of the world of people you can't really trust. And then I feel like they just look down on people like us. But I'd be happy to open and sit down and talk with anyone about my experiences, because I went from possibly a life where it could be really bad and I would have nothing, to having a life where I've achieved more than anyone I know in my family, and my success keeps going, and it's all because of gaming and esports, and that gave me that opportunity. So then some of them success stories to be spoken about, and we got a lot of those success stories in the UK, but no one in government gives a damn. Sad, really sad.
On that note, let's hope the next Prime Minister, whoever it is, will embrace esports a bit more.
Help us, please. We're going to do it.
Thanks, it's been amazing.
No, good to see you again,
mate. I appreciate all your time, and enjoy the final tomorrow.
Harvey, come here. Run round.
Is this an exclusive? Hello, Harvey.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
I don't know if you're going to be in the shot here.
This is Dom.
I have to lift him up.
This is Dom. He's a friend of mine. He's doing an interview with Daddy. Did you have fun today?
Yes.
Yeah? And what name did you shout when we were doing rehearsals today? Do you remember? What spirit player? You went on the microphone, you shouted, Chopper! Yeah? Shout Chopper now.
Chopper.
There we go.
Are you going to be a future Counter-Strike star?
No.
He will. I'm going to get you trained. Don't say that.